Dear friends, I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom. And this Shabbat we read the Torah portion of Teitze, which includes in it 76 mitzvot, the most of any portion in the Torah. And several of these mitzvot are connected to mixtures that are forbidden. For instance, you're not allowed to wear wool and linen together. You're not allowed to, in a field, have a piece of machinery or plow or some sort of machinery pulled by an ox and a donkey together. They have to be both the same animal. As well, a man shouldn't groom himself or wear women's clothing or sending a woman a man's clothing. And we know the famous mixture of milk and meat. Now, why we can't mix these things, even though each on their own are fine, is because these are the type of mitzvahs that are called a chok, a statute. One that our logic doesn't grasp and comprehend why. But Hashem obviously has his reasons, which he therefore made the mitzvah. But what is the message of mixtures being forbidden? Why can't I plant in a vineyard other seeds? Or the other examples I brought before? And the answer is that the Torah is trying to tell us a very important message. That in life, everything has to have a clear identity. There has to be clear lines of what's on the right side, what's on the left side, what's good, what's bad, what's right, what's wrong, what's acceptable, what's unacceptable. But we live in a society where this is not the case, where everything is acceptable. There is no identity. It's not like it used to always be a male and a female. Today there's a male and a female and all the other types of identities that people try to give themselves, which have never been part of who we are and what we are, and never was intended to be part of who we are and what we are. So we live in a time when the world accepts everything. And everything could be in the same pot, the big mishmash. And therefore I think that these mitzvahs are especially told for our times. How important it is to have a clear identity, a clear line defining what something is. And if it's something that's good or bad, right or wrong, or how it could be used to be good, how it could be used to be bad. Because without a clarity and identity, life becomes very difficult, becomes very frustrating. We become a generation like ourselves where people are the most prosperous, people have the greatest opportunity, people have the potential for so much and the ability to do and see so much and learn so much, and yet we're the most confused, most depressed society in history of the world. Years ago, it was very clear, the lines, what's right, wrong, what's good and bad. And you know, there's a famous story with the rabbi sitting in a study, and a couple comes for counseling. The rabbi has his secretary writing down his notes, and the wife comes and says that everything is falling apart in our marriage all because of my husband, complaining about her husband. The rabbi listens and says, you know, you're right. What you're saying is right, it's very true. Then the husband starts telling his story, and after the rabbi listens, he says, you know, you're right, what you're saying is very true. And then sooner or later the couple leaves. So the secretary says, Rabbi, how could both be right? Either one is right or the other is right. If they're fighting, someone's right, someone's wrong. How can they both be right? The rabbi says, you know what? You're also right. So in a society where everything goes and there's no really clarity, it's a society that gets nowhere and only backfires on itself. And we see what our society is going through. So the Torah says mixes are not allowed. You have to have clear identities. A man has to have a clear identity. A woman has a clear identity. And each animal has a unique identity. They can't just be put together because they're two animals. And just because two things are used for clothing doesn't mean automatically they can be mixed together. Everything has its identity and its purpose and what it stands for. And therefore we have to respect that as well. How much more so ourselves in our life. The lines, the clarity, our identity is unquestionable. It has to be as clear as day. So may God help. They should be clear about who you are and what you are. Especially as Jews, proud Jews. Never to hide or never to try to get away. But always to step up and proudly proclaim, I'm Jewish. And I'm a proud Jew. and committed to the Judaism of my parents, grandparents, all the way to Abraham, and to keep it going till Mashiach comes very quickly in our days. So God bless you. We love you all. Shabbat Shalom. And candlelight time in Montreal, 7:06 p.m.